Again, the printing the documents off, yes, of course, compared to what's available, you can say it's old school, but I don't know. I know 20-year-olds who still read paperback books.
Hmm.
I prefer Kindle, but it's not because of any reason. We live in a small condo. I don't have a lot of space for a big bookshelf. I've owned lots of paperback books and hardback books, from college in those days. It's just it's a lot easier, and I don't usually carry much around with me besides my phone, and so I've got my entire library of books there on my phone. I had to order uh, my first paperback book. But I think the same is true of our client work. I just took over as treasurer for our state chapter of a professional tax professional association, and everything that my predecessors had, all of their records, all came to me in a big banker's box full of
Hmm.
manila folders and paper. And so I spent the last a couple hours a week over the last month or so going through, sorting, arranging everything, and then scanning that in and digitizing it. Not because it's all old records, it's all done, but because I want to make sure that we've got that permanent copy of it, like you said, that's backed up, and so that's saved into our chapter's Google Drive documents, and it's there. So yeah. So anyway, good deal. Let's see.
And real books have a lot of fun though, especially
Yep.
if you've got littles around, grandkids or toddlers or those, because they learn to read and think, write and all much better with a real piece of paper and a pencil or a crayon than they do. Yeah, they all have iPads and everything to play with, but they actually learn how to do those small motor things a lot of time better with pencil and paper and crayons and coloring books than online or
Our
electronically.
7-year-old daughter has a bookshelf full of real books, so we're
Yeah.
definitely not anti-real book. And I might, it's sort of a back and forth process. I'm searching through the draft on the screen. I'm finding that in the printed off version. I'm marking that up, and then I'm going back to the screen with the keyboard to type up notes on the different sections. So it's not one or the other. I think it's both. Is new supply of ink or toner
I
for
do
the.
zero paper. I don't do any paper at all. Like very rarely will I print out a return and get it to a client, and that's only if they have issues with e-file and we have to mail it in.
And I think it's one of those, just we can come up with strategies and workflows. I think at the end of the day, anytime we prepare a return, there's always that little nagging feeling that there's one more 1099 that they just forgot to upload or something like that. But in general, so what do we do? Well, another structural change in our firm that's different this year, and we started doing this about 6 months ago, rolling this out and introducing our clients to it, is we put a role into our firm that we're calling the Client Success Manager, CSM. And so that person, that role is mostly administrative, but it's also client relationship. And that person essentially becomes the conduit between the client and the rest of the firm. So all communication runs through the CSM. Now, it doesn't mean that we we call them the technical staff, the people who are actually doing the bookkeeping or doing the tax return preparation, that sort of stuff. It doesn't mean that we don't communicate with the client at all. It just means that we're not monitoring communication all day. The CSMs are doing that. And if there's something that comes up that they need, the conditional logic will take care of that, to where if they answer, no, I don't own any rentals, they're not going to have to answer the 12 questions about rental properties, right? So it'll be a lot less than that number. But out of that, how many things have they actually responded to? And if it's still zero, on the Monday of the week that they're supposed to be a document review, then they're going to get a reminder. They're going to get a message from the CSM saying, hey, we need you to, this is the week you picked, right? And we didn't assign these weeks. The clients picked these weeks themselves. And we explained to them that look, this is, you're picking this, okay? So if you want your return done fast and early, that's fine, but you got to get us your stuff fast and early. And you're the one who knows when you usually get your stuff in every year, right?